All right, we got the back half of the cage pretty much finished up, at least for now, because I want to get the fuel cell in and do some other things to basically start assembling it, because I need the rear to be on the ground before I start the front, because I want to set ride height and everything. So yeah, getting primer on it and just going to paint everything black for now. I'm going to keep the truck itself patinaed. So the inside of the bed, if you watch previous videos, basically look exactly like the rest of the truck looks. So I have it masked off funny enough to keep it kind of rusty and patinaed, while everything else is getting a matching coat of paint. So including the rear axle down there and everything. The fuel cell holder, all that's getting painted right now. And just touching up a few spots, going through everything, because I did this at night last night, so it's a lot easier to see missed spots. Areas that need a little touch up, can wire brush them, finish them up, whatever in the daytime. So starting to look good though. Here we go. All right, progress is being made. Things are going from primer to black. I would say one very important thing in all of this is buy more paint than you think you'll need. A primer, I probably use 4 cans, maybe 5 cans, or 4.5. Of the lacquer I'm using, I'm already about 5 cans in, because I'm doing, you know, hitting the frame, hitting everything that's in this back half. So I actually need to run to the store right now, because yeah, I'm 5 cans in, and you know, there's still a good amount to be done. So I would say I probably need 2 more cans. Probably just going to buy another 5 cans because I'll use it for other stuff. But what I'm using, just to give you an idea, is this acrylic lacquer. For me, so far, it's held up better than other paints. And then in areas that are going to be contacted substantially, so like where the fuel cell is going to sit and where the spare tire sits, I'm actually going to do some like protective wrap or something on it as well. So like a little sticker type material or something like that. Even electrical tape might work, or duct tape, but just something to protect the surface from being rubbed down. So yeah, I'm going to try that on the surfaces that things are just going to be rubbing and riding on. I mean, no matter what, because it's not powder coated, this, you know, things are going to wear, paint's going to wear off and all that. So I'm going to do a few coats on here. Oh, and that 5 cans is only, you know, that's single coat so far. And you can see there's a bunch of spots missing. So I might actually have to get like another 10 cans, probably whatever the store has to offer, to be fair. And then, yeah, we'll come back and go from there. Can't wait to get this all done and start the assembly though. I've been waiting a long time for this.
Many cans of spray paint later.
Now would you look at that? So fresh and so clean for now. Time to start assembling. I'm gonna give the paint a little bit more time to fully harden and cure, but I am gonna work on starting the assembly process on the rear axles. So getting the disc brakes all mounted up, getting the axles installed and torqued, 115 foot-pounds on those guys, getting the calipers installed on there, and yeah, just kind of figuring things out. I'll get the shocks in, gotta get my fuel cell mounted up in there, get the rear diff cover on, get my bump stops back in. Exciting times. Stoked to finally get the back end of this thing wrapped up here. All right, so I just got my shocks mounted, installed and everything. So one quick tip for anyone doing this, but it's having a hard time aligning the eyelet at the bottom. So basically without the wheels and tires on and without anything forcing the leaf spring down, I'm not getting full droop, you know, just with the weight on it, even if I stand on it, all that. So, you know, at first I was like, okay, what can I do to push the bottom of the shock up? So I tried, you know, doing a tie down strap around a bolt and all that, but that doesn't work because, I mean, it could, but it's a pain in the butt to try to align it. And then even if you get it kind of lined up, you have to figure out how to get the bolt out or whatever. So there's ways to do it, like clamping onto this collar somehow and then jacking off of that to pull it up and whatever. But what I found is the easiest way, because I knew that there was more downstroke in my suspension travel, was thankfully I have one of these portable power kits. So 2 different things. One, these jaws come really in handy, especially with any tabs that may have closed over welding, or when they were bent, they're just a little too
little too narrow in there. So what I've done is basically on this one, it had shrunk just a little bit when I welded it. So I was able to put the jaws in there and then have them open up and expand that a little bit. Sorry about that. Somebody walked up. So I was able to put the jaws in there and expand them to open up this lower tab so that it fit in without having to touch it up with a grinder or anything like that. And then what I did was do this combination on here for the power pack. So basically I was able to fit this in here to push off the leaf spring and up to the frame so that I could extend the leaf spring, sorry about that, the leaf spring further down and push this down and then line up the eyelet that way. And that worked really well. So it gives me a high degree of adjustability and fine tuning because the hydraulics are very precise in that manner. But yeah, just a little extra. And I knew I had, like I said, I knew I had more off my leaf spring pack. So that worked out well. And now the shocks are on and time to do the limit straps.